Coming up, a narrative of the Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon visitors have many different reactions when they experience this wonder of the world. Some are in awe, some are surprised, and there are some that even cry. The formation of the Grand Canyon began 65 million years ago, carved by erosion. The oldest rocks in the canyon are 2 billion years old. The area is comprised of 1,228,000 acres of national park. Annual rainfall totals 17 to 28 inches, depending on the location in the canyon. The canyon is 1 mile deep in some areas and 18 miles wide at its widest. The Anasazi and Pueblo Indians lived in the canyon in 500 AD. In the 1880s, the first tourists came to see the Grand Canyon. Teddy Roosevelt took the first mule journey down into the canyon June 15th, 1911. People are not the only creatures that enjoy the Grand Canyon. 284 different types of birds, 17 kinds of fish, and 35 kinds of reptiles all make the canyon their home. Coming up are more bird's eye views of the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon extends east to west, from Echo Cliffs near Lee's Ferry to the Grand Wash Cliffs near Lake Mead. On the north, it is bordered by several plateaus, and on the south by the Coconut Plateau. The elevation of the North Rim at Grand Canyon Lodge is 8,200 feet. The South Rim at Grand Canyon Village is 6,965 feet. If you're looking for a drink of water in the canyon, you just have to know where to look and how to get there. When visiting the Grand Canyon, dress according to weather conditions. Take along some water, sunscreen during the hot months, and don't forget your camera and plenty of film. The south rim of the Grand Canyon, seen here, is more popular than the north rim, primarily because there are no obstructions to one's view, as there are on the north rim, although the north is equally as beautiful. Over 5 million people visit the Grand Canyon every year, with nearly 1 million of them arriving from Las Vegas. From Mather Point, where guardrails protect observers from a sheer drop, a fourth of the Grand Canyon is visible. There are 1,500 species of plants in the Grand Canyon, but they must be tough to survive the semi-arid climate. Those that do are hardy species that cling to the soil, providing food and shelter for some of the area's wildlife. Halfway between Williams and the South Rim on Highway 64 is the IMAX, featuring a 7-story movie screen. Directly due south of the Grand Canyon sits the cozy little town of Williams, Arizona. Many people stop over here before making the trek to the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon Railway, originally commissioned into service in 1901, has been reintroduced to transport visitors across Arizona's northern plains in Kaibab National Forest, the canyon's south rim. Now, sit back and enjoy the 60-mile steam locomotive scenic train ride to the Grand Canyon. There are many ways to get to the Grand Canyon: trains, planes, automobiles, buses, and helicopters. It has become a constant flow of people and their quest to experience the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is officially designated as one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. The distance around the Grand Canyon from the South Rim, seen here, to the North Rim is 215 miles, 7 miles as the crow flies. Surrounding the Grand Canyon is the 1,000 square mile Grand Canyon National Park. This kingdom includes portions of the Coconino and Kaibab plateaus, which are accented by beautiful forests. The park is also home to an Indian village, the ancestral home of the Havasupis, as well as some 300 prehistoric ruins. Both the north and south rims lie within what is called the transition zone, 7,000 to 8,250 feet. It is here where annual rainfall varies from 15 to 22 inches, and average midsummer temperatures remain the high 70s and low 80s. In this area, ponderosa pine forests dominate the scene. Around Grand Canyon Village on the south rim, ponderosa mixes primarily with juniper pinyon woodland. On the north rim, with manzanita, mountain mahogany, gamble oak, and aspen. In 1916, the National Park Service was established to create and administer the regulations that would preserve areas of great natural beauty. But it wasn't until 1919 that a bill was finally passed by both houses of Congress to establish the Grand Canyon National Park. Additional land was added between 1927 and 1975. Scientists also wanted to protect the Grand Canyon, but not just to preserve its natural splendor. Here, scientists have a view of geological time that goes back at least 2 billion years. Perhaps nowhere on Earth has such a geological record been so clearly exposed as within the stratified walls of the Grand Canyon. Metamorphic and sedimentary rock make up most of the Grand Canyon's primordial landscape. Located on the edge of the South Rim is the Desert View Watchtower. Designed by Mary Jane Coulter, it was built in 1933 in the ancient Pueblo style. Its winding staircase leads to an observation deck. The elevation here is 7,450 feet. The lower Sonoran Zone extends from the surface of the Colorado River up to about the 4,000-foot level of northern exposures and the 5,000-foot level of southern exposures within the canyon. Like the Mexican state of Sonora, it is desert dry and hot, with summer temperatures that frequently climb above 120 degrees in the shade. This is the Glen Canyon Dam, completed in 1963 near Page, Arizona, at the east end of the Grand Canyon. The dam controls the flow of the Colorado River and created a large reservoir of water known as Lake Powell. At the other end of the Grand Canyon stands one of the man-made wonders of the world, Hoover Dam. Situated in Black Canyon, construction began in March of 1931 on what was originally called Boulder Dam. In June 1935, Hoover Dam was completed 2.5 years ahead of schedule and proved to be a government project that paid for itself. The dam created the largest man-made lake, Lake Mead. Lake Powell, part of the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area, is backed up for about 180 miles into Utah. The water is allowed to flow through the dam on a variable schedule related to the demand for power in such cities as Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Tucson. The lake offers plenty of water recreation. No, you're not seeing double. These are two bridges near Page, Arizona. One is open only to foot traffic, but both bridges offer great views of the desert landscape. And it's a great place to take pictures. The Colorado River is the major force which carves out the Grand Canyon, eroding and chipping away the massive rocks. Colorado is Spanish for red-colored and refers to the brick-like hue of the silt-laden water. The river is not as red as it once was. The Glen Canyon Dam holds back much of the silt. The Colorado River is 277 miles long in the Grand Canyon and has 2,200 feet of descent. The Colorado River, as an excavator, is one of the most extraordinary devices in the natural world. 500,000 tons of silt and sand is moved every day. Now we take a leisurely stroll to the home of the Cliff Dwellers. Located on what is now Route 89, these dwellings date back to the earliest of inhabitants. Imagine for a moment what it would have been like to live here years ago. Tests on archaeological sites indicate that the Grand Canyon was inhabited by Native Americans as far back as 4,000 years ago. The Anasazi, Pueblo, and other cultures left their mark with carvings in the rock, called petroglyphs. It was a form of expression, of communication, and it may have been a way of saying, yes, we were here. The very first inhabitants left the Grand Canyon. Their spirit remains. Quite an assortment of human beings have lived and explored the Grand Canyon. From the Native American Indians to the Spanish explorers like Cortez and Coronado, and others like U.S. Army Lieutenant Joseph Ives and John Wesley Powell. The Indians were in touch with spirits and living off the land. The Spanish came looking for gold and treasures. Others came in order to make their claim to the land. Now, the Grand Canyon is there for all people to enjoy and learn from. The Grand Canyon has been praised as the most sublime spectacle in the world. We say so long for now from the north rim of the Grand Canyon. Truly, one of the seven wonders of the world.